We've got COMELEC Chair George Garcia. Sir, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on a holiday.
Magandang hapon
Hi,
po.
Chairman.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat, Ma'am Ami, Sir Ronald, Sir Virgil. Magandang hapon po.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Sir, nasaan ka?
Kadadarating lang po natin galing Cotabato City.
Okay.
Opo, dahil po doon sa Bangsamoro.
Kakabalik niyo lang po. So you're back here.
Yes po.
What happened to nanakawan ka daw ng phone and cash?
Ano nga sana?
Recovered na po except the money and of course yung pong the cellphone and the cards recovered na po and arrested na po yung ilan sa mga culprits.
Grabe.
What happened there? As in na-snatch ba? Or
Nakuha yan sa kotse.
Po, immediately after our hearing po sa Senate concerning a very important bill, yung pong anti-political dynasty bill, meron 3 bills po dyan. Medyo mahaba-haba po yung naging hearing namin doon and nag-decide kami na kumain. Mahirap po kasing sa Senate pa kami makikain. Kaya yun po, medyo sumama sila doon sa madami, hindi namin napansin. Ganun po pala, talaga usually palang ginagawa nila doon sa mga area na yon.
Chair,
Chairman, kumusta yung Mindanao? Dahil ayaw na daw mag-decommissioning, nakasuspende yung decommissioning ng MILF, no? Did you talk to them?
Yes, so far po wala namang problem tayo. Walang direct relation pa sa election, pero syempre monitor po natin yung situation. I think it's really more on the peace process doon sa OPA-PRU, yung kanilang concern. But it does not affect yet the election period. Nakapag-set up po kami ng mga checkpoints and in effect na rin po ngayon, Ma'am Ami, ngayon sa buong Mindanao, yung gun ban. And so far so good po. Yung peace and order situation is very good at this point. Wala naman pong violations pa. And nakipag-usap tayo sa ilang grupo ng MILF kahapon. Kasama na rin po yung Bangsamoro government and ilang members ng parliament. And they are fully cooperative and supportive of the initiative of the Commission on Elections.
So, Chair, tuloy na yung election. So, kahit anong mangyari dyan sa decommissioning, ay tuloy yung election.
Tuloy na tuloy po sa ating mga kababayan sa Bangsamoro. Huwag na po kayong mag-doubt. By October 13, tuloy na tuloy po ang election sa Bangsamoro. Although, medyo may malaki pong mga issues na pumasok. But these issues will not prevent the conduct of the election. Such as, number 1, yung pong hanggang ngayon yung reapportionment. Opo, yung reapportionment ng 7 seats eh. Kasi po the other day, yung gabi na ipasa nila ng parliament yung bill reapportioning the 7 seats and therefore ang mangyayari po doon magkakaroon ng 7 new districts, but in the meantime the applicability of the 7 districts will be by appointment of the president and not by election. Kaya lang po ang malaking problema namin doon at issue, kaya po namin sinuspend ang printing ng balota supposedly today kasi may effect po, Ma'am Ami, Sir Ronald, Sir Bridges, sa may effect po ito sa ballot faces. At the same time, gusto namin alamin ano yung mga bayan yung nilipat from one district to another district in order to create a new district without conducting a special list or a special filing of candidacy. And therefore, magbabago yung ballot faces at kinakailangan din po na pagpuli namin yung sa system. Kaya po, nireset po muna natin yung printing ng balota. Ang second po, na very important, yesterday po I conducted a very important emergency meeting with the 7 political parties, with the Citizens Arm, nandun yung Lenten, NAMFREL, and such other groups. Nandun din po yung mga members ng parliament. Kasi po yung issue ng nota, yung none of the above. Kasi po for the first time in the history of our election, magkakaroon po tayo ng nota sa balota kung saan po, for example, there will be 5 candidates for a district representative. Yung 6 candidate po doon ay si none of the above. So option po yung ng mga botante natin. Sa political parties naman po, if we have 7 political parties, yung number 8 po is none of the above din. So ang naging issue at question ko sa kanila, kasi po wala po sa election code. Paano kung manalo si Nota? Paano kung si Nota ang may pinakamadaming boto? Question, sino po proclaim po namin na kandidato? For the first time po mukhang lang nila na-realize yung implikasyon ng none of the above na yan.
On a different topic, Chair, ano lang status nung controversy tungkol dun sa campaign contribution kay Senate President Chis Escudero na ng isang contractor ng gobyerno na sabi ni Attorney Macalintal ay definitely lumalabag sa Omnibus Election Code. Meron na bang nagsampa ng kaso or may ginagawa na ba ang Chair motu proprio dito sa kaso na ito?
Sir Ronald, motu proprio po ang ginawa ng komisyon. Last week, we instructed our campaign, political and finance office, siya po talaga in charge sa mga SOSE, to backtrack the investigation 2022, 2020. Ngayon po yung 2025 kasi ongoing na yung aming ginagawa na review of the SOSE of the candidates. Pero sabi natin, since yung mga akusasyon, allegation of certain personalities nangyari 2022, so sabi namin pakibalik tayo ng 2022, we still have jurisdiction for the understanding of everybody. Yung po kasing election offense, lalo violation ng mga ganyan sa SOSE rules, ay 5 years ang prescriptive period. So kung 2022 yan, you still have until 2027 as the prescriptive period, meron pa po kaming jurisdiction. And you are right, well, Attorney Macalintal is also right, that meron po tayo, Sir Ronald, Section 95, letter C of the Omnibus Election Code ang sinasabi. Ang title po ng Section 95, Prohibited Contributions. So, ang sinabi doon, whether natural or juridical persons, bawal mag-contribute or mag-donate sa isang kampanya, sa isang kandidato, sa isang political party kung merong kontrata, whether service or public works sa government. So I will not go to the extent of saying and determining whether the liability, the culpability extends to the candidate. In the meantime, really, the culpability and the liability covers the contractor or the one who gave the contribution or donation to the government or to the candidate.
Pero may lusot nga siya, di ba, Chairman, na a person who owns the company pwede mag-donate as a personal contribution.
As an individual versus the company
Yes.
contribution.
Pero even
Personal contribution siya.
even the person is juridical.
Pwede yun.
Tama naman po siguro yung ganong klaseng defense, ay valid defense, pero hindi without preempting the investigation and the final conclusion on that. But take note po, ang nakalagay kasi sa Section 95 letter C, natural or juridical person. Hindi naman po distinguish kung anong klase, whether
Ito yung person,
president,
bawal.
capacity. Yes, so the COMELEC can always in the implementation of election law make our own interpretation as to whom should be held liable doon sa Section 95 letter C.
So it doesn't matter if
okay.
the contribution was made as an individual, kahit na ikaw yung founder and CEO of the company, if you make it as an individual, you're still culpable, is what you're saying.
Juridical person.
Yes, but because there is such a thing in corporation law, yung we can always pierce the corporate, for example, as tama po, the company is separate and distinct from its officers. Always po.
Yeah.
But there are certain instances where, for example, the company will be performing ultra vires act, illegal acts, then it can likewise extend the liability to the officers.
Yeah.
And in the same manner, actions of the officers can always bind the companies or corporations, especially if the actions are illegal.
You said the culpability lies with the contributor, but shouldn't it lie with the candidate? They accepted it.
Yung po yung ating determine later if Section 95C should can also be extended to the candidates.
Yeah.
Pero pag tingnan po kasi natin yung Section 95, title niya prohibited contributions, and then it mentioned about the natural and the juridical person. So as to whether it extends to the candidates, then we will make the necessary correction later.
I think we have to be a bit stricter about that because don't all candidates sign an understanding, a document to say that yes, they understand, they will abide by all election laws of the land. So this is a very clear election law of the land, right?
So, in a way, nag-violate sila.
Attach po yung document na yun.
Kaya nga.
Yung acceptance of the donation, including the donation per se, assigned by the contractor or signed by the individual, attach po yun sa SOSE ng candidate.
So, Chairman, usually gano'ng katagal yan? Anong, in broad strokes, ano usually ang timeline ng ganyang klaseng kaso?
Mga 2 to 3 weeks po ang ating binigay. Kasi nga po, at least pinpointed naman po namin yung individuals. Ang sabi lang po natin, we should not only focus doon sa personality na lumabas the other week, but it should likewise extend to other personalities. Kasi nga po, it's really so unfair if we will be focusing only doon sa personality. If there are other contributors na contractors, alam niyo po ang problem natin. Pag binasa natin po yung social law, ang sinabi lang po is what is the profession or the occupation of the donor. Ang sabi po ay pwedeng businessman lang eh. Hindi naman po naka-reveal kasi doon kung yung businessman, contractor pala ng government yun, public works or service. And that's the reason why we really need the help of the public. Kaya for the first time nag-publish tayo ng SOSE para po matulungan kami. Sabihin, yung businessman na yan, hindi yung businessman na nagbebenta lang ng kung ano. Businessman yan na engage sa government project.
May nakuha na ba kayong mga tip ngayon? Kasi malaki scandal siya ngayon and it's in the headlines. Meron na bang mga nagtitip sa inyo na, itong contractor na to, nagbigay dyan sa kandidatong to? Have you been receiving those tips?
Meron na po simula nung maging controversial yung issue, naging napakalaki yung issue na yan, contract sa government. And that this is what we are telling the people. This is the high time na brought up yung issue ng Section 95, prohibited contributions, bawal pala. Eh nung nagpa-practice ako, Ma'am Ami, wala akong na-defend na ganyang klase na case. Wala rin ako na-filean na individual concerning that. Eh kasi parang acceptable kasi before acceptable na merong talaga nagbibigay at laging ini-invoke yung private capacity. I may be the president of the company, but at the same time, I am also an individual, a friend, a classmate, and therefore I can give financial help or support to a candidate.
So mga ilan ng mga kandidato yung mga nakukuha niyong tip? Mga ilan na kaya yung apektado?
Mga 3 pa po ng mga candidates for national office ang nakikita natin. Meron po sa amin nag-tip sa Bulacan. So sabi, tingnan namin, incidentally, yun yung maging mainit na issue ngayon doon sa bandang area na Bulacan.
Narinig ko rin yun,
yung
Chair.
Yung kamag-anak, pwede magbigay yung kamag-anak. Kung kamag-anak, contractor, pwede mag-contribute?
Sa ating pong family code of the Philippines, ang mag-asawa nga po, bawal bawal mag-donate sa bawat isa. And doon sa contractor, wala pong distinction kahit po yung binanggit ko Section 95, hindi naman po sinabing except if the contractor or the donor
is related.
Ay related, wala po naman nakalagay doon. Basta na sinabi, natural or juridical person.
Yeah. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, and that's actually why we invited you today, Chair, because the other night I went to your website to look for sources to cross-check it with the top contractors that President Marcos enumerated. Wala naman laman, sir, yung website. I mean, you can only see senators, party lists, and political parties in terms of the filed sources. And when you go into each person's name, all you can see is how much they declared in cash, in-kind contributions, but it doesn't give you the breakdown on who gave what. Are we ever going to get that information?
Yes po, actually katulad po ng isang TV station, nag-request po sila sa amin ng specificity at saka details. We immediately gave the said, kasi po siyempre may bayad po ng mga administrative fees, and at the same time, doon sa mga attachments po kasi, meron kasi pong mga information that might violate the so-called data privacy. Opo, kasi po may mga for example po yung treasurer, yung address nila, yung address nila, mga private individuals, and so therefore we would like to be very careful about it. And ang sabi lang naman po kasi ng SOSE law at ng aming resolution yung SOSE per se. Pero yung mga attachments we can likewise provide, provided yung mismo nag-request meron ding undertaking as regards the yung mga information that might violate the data privacy.
So hindi yan public document, Chairman?
Ginagawa na po natin public, basta may request po, kahit paano, para matrace lang po natin yung pong culpability rin kung sakasakaling ikalat yun. Like for example, if it will be used for investigative journalism, wala po tayong problem dyan at we will easily give in. In fact, ngayon po, once na nag-request, binibigyan lang namin yung sarili namin ng mga 3 days, we will immediately give the details, the other documents as attached in the SOSE.
So I have to ask for it pa pala.
Dapat investigative journalism.
Akala ko ba, Chair, sabi mo at the start of the election that you wanted, during the campaign, that you wanted the public to be part of this process. You want them to report, mali, look at your candidates, look what they declared, see if there's any inconsistencies. So how can they do that if we don't publicize it, right?
Yeah, yung initial publication po natin, which is actually the main SOSE by itself, siguro hinahanap po natin yung mismo mga attached documents dun sa SOSE. We will provide that naman basta may
pero hihingin pa.
If the Philippine Star will request, then we will definitely allow the giving of other documents. Pero at least yung SOSE per se, we nasa website natin yan, kahit paano that can be the basis. Tama po kayo, maaaring wala dun yung mga specifics na sino ba talaga yung mga nagbigay na yan, yung individuals na yan. But again, we will have to really balance lang po yung issue lang ng data privacy. Kasi po, yung data privacy, yung law natin on data privacy versus yung SOSE law, mas latest po kasi yung data privacy law natin kaysa doon sa SOSE law natin. And so, that became problematic to us. Pero yung katulad ng PCIJ, kahit po yung right to know right now, we always give these documents to them.
Okay, I will file a request soon.
Investigative journalist ka ba?
Chairman, linawin ko lang sinabi nyo you are looking at 3 national candidates. Senador yun Wala namang ibang national candidate. 3 more apart from 1. Bali 4 na senador. 4 senators. Linked to contractors' contributions
Yes po, basta po ang sa amin is yung mga contractors who gave
contributions to the campaign this year.
Yes po, because of the reports that we receive coming from the public. And so titingnan lang po naman
in 2022 saka ngayon.
2022 lang po muna, Ma'am Ami.
2022 pa lang. Okay.
Yes, wala. Yung 25 po kasi, alam niyo po, 42,000 candidates lahat yung nag-file ng kanilang SOSE. And we have 61 candidates for senators. Actually po, ongoing na sana yan. Kaya lang, sabi natin doon sa opisina na in charge, sandali, pakitingnan niyo muna yung 2022 kasi nga po, mainit yung issue and we don't want to be blamed by the public na baka hindi man lang kami kumikilos. Kaya sabi namin, focus muna sandali sa 22 and then we can go na sa 2022.
And you'll be ready with a decision and your finding within 2 to 3 weeks' time from now?
Definitely po, we will have to write a letter addressed, for example, to the contractor for the contractors to explain their side naman in case we will confirm that indeed these individuals are contractors or yung company mismo or companies mismo nila ang nagbigay, hindi lang pala yung individual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll leave that there for now. We've run out of time. Thank you so much for joining StoryCon again on this holiday. Comelec Chair George Garcia.
Salamat, Chair.